National Road Safety Authority estimates that by the end of today, 4 people would have died on our roads. The daily deaths translate to about 1,800 deaths annually. Now, in 2024, the situation worsened with 2,494 fatalities recorded. Now, that's about 9.5% increase from the previous years. Clearly, road crashes and fatalities continue to be a significant public health concern in the country. In this edition of Hot Issues, we delve into the disturbing numbers and plans to keep us safe on our roads. With the appointment of a new Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, there is heightened expectation for innovative strategies and effective interventions to reverse this alarming trend. The key question remains, how can Ghana implement robust measures to significantly and sustainably reduce road crashes and safeguard lives and enhance road safety for all citizens? I am Kemeni Amano, and my guest is Director General of the NRSA, Abraham Amaliba. You're welcome to Hot Issues, lawyer.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on your program. I think this program is one of the educative programs, and I'm honored to be on your program.
We're happy to hear. But let's start off with some of the recent things that we have heard as far as road safety is concerned. Attempts to legalize Okada. We know that back between the period 2012 and 2015, the NDC government criminalized commercialization of motorcycles for, commercial purposes, obviously, yes. When you now say you are legalizing Okada, what do you mean?
So when Okada came into the system, there were concerns about conduct and behavior of the Okada drivers, some of which bordered on criminality. And so the government of the day at that time decided that the best way to stop those criminal activities was to ban the use of Okada for commercial purposes. But we all agree that as time went on, Okada became a major stakeholder in the transport industry. You found out that police people who were even supposed to be the ones stopping and checking on the illegality were themselves engaged in Okada business. Apart from that, the Okada provided services in areas that vehicles could not reach.
Right.
And so it then dawned on the NDC, and for that matter, His Excellency, that we can legalize the operations of Okada, but regulate their activities. The reasons why Okada is seen as a danger to the motoring public is because it has not been regulated. And so anybody who has a motorbike jumps on it and begins to go about his commercial activities. And because it is illegal, state institutions that are mandated to, for instance, provide driver education, for instance, provide safety education, cannot engage them because you can't be engaging an illegality or an illegal entity. So the idea then came that, well, these people are doing well. Even you journalists, sometimes when you are late for your programs to read your news, you jump on Okada and you are able to beat the time. Okada, and for that matter, the Pragya, the tricycles, help in movement of people close to their homes. Other vehicular transport systems will send you to the station. Then you continue to your home. But Okada will send you straight to your door, your door. So in the 2024 elections, there came this idea to legalize Okada. And as I speak to you, plans are underway.
So I want to understand what those plans are, particularly now when we know that it's illegal to use it for commercial purposes. If the government of the day says that we want to legalize it, what does legalization look like?
So we are going to remove the provision of the law that says that it is illegal. And as I speak, a 30-member committee, of which I'm a member, is reviewing the law. There will be a meeting this week again, because there was a meeting last week, and to fine-tune the law and send it to Parliament. This law is the law that was supposed to pass, but because of the siren thing that was in the law, there was this siren for MPs, and the Ghanaians were up in arms against it, so it was withdrawn. Now we are going to review it, take that aspect out, and present it.
You take the siren aspect out. Okay.
And then include the Okada legalization in it, and then present it to Parliament. If it passes, then it means that we have gone over the issue of Okada being illegal and to become legal now. Then institutions like road safety, DVLA, and the transport ministry will begin to put in place mechanisms. So for instance, the transport ministry is going to hold stakeholder engagements in about 4 regions: Greater Accra, Ashanti, northern region. They will do one in Volta and Takoradi to engage the public on this legalization. Then on our part, as a regulator, we would provide the Okada people road safety education, not driver education. Driver education is for DVLA. We will provide them with road safety education. We would prescribe the uniform. In fact, they are going to be given uniforms to identify them. They will be given reflector vests to wear. Then we will prescribe the type of helmet that they will be wearing. Apart from that, the people they pick must also wear that. Then the DVL will give them special number plates and give them special licensing. Then the police will now begin to enforce the laws. If an Okada rider is found not wearing the helmet, then you'll be arrested and prosecuted. If the person you picked, the passenger, does not wear helmet, then that person will be arrested. The Okada rider will be arrested. So we have been sent to Rwanda. I'm told that in the world there are 2 countries that are applying this Okada very well, Rwanda and
that's why we went to Rwanda, to learn from Rwanda's example.
For the good example that they have. We are back. We are going to register them in unions. We are not going to have individual Okada riders walking to the offices to say, I have a motorbike, I want to ride. No. You must be in a union or in a cooperative. That cooperative will have its executives. So that when we are looking for you, if you engage in an illegality or you engage in crime, we are looking for you, we'll go to your union and they can fish you out. So things are going to change.
So which means that we are likely to have things like Okada stations also.
Exactly. So the district assemblies or metropolitan assemblies will be required to designate places as Okada stations.
I see.
Within the city.
Very elaborate.
Yes.
But you see, back between the period 2012-2015, the NDC-1 administration, like you have said, you outlined certain conditions at the time that forced, the government of the day then to criminalize the commercialization of Okada users. Have those conditions gone?
Those conditions will be fixed when they are legalized and when these cooperatives come up. How do we identify who is engaged in criminality? there is a database of all Okada riders and owners of the vehicles. You can be an owner stroke rider, but most of the time, the riders are not the owners. So it is easy if we also register the owners. Now, if you engage in criminal acts, and don't forget, we're also going to provide them with speed limits. There will be gadgets in their motors which will stop them from overspeeding. Then also, there will be a tracker in each motorbike. So as you move, wherever your motorbike is going, there is computer watching you and your movement, and all this will be captured. So the fear that you are on a motorbike, it will be used to kidnap you, will no longer be there, because we can easily fish out those people.
I see. That one sounds a bit complex, and I want us to break it down. But before then, there are people who have raised questions about why you needed to spend money to go to Rwanda. Why? We could have done this ourselves. Why did we have to go to Rwanda and view?
You don't do that. When you are implementing a project and you think that your neighbor has done it before, nothing stops you from going there to study good examples. In fact, Rwanda has come to Ghana to study our tax system. When they told us that they too have come, and they came and took some of our people there to, put together their tax system. So it is just like a neighborly concern. When you have your neighbor who has done well, you only go there to learn the best practice. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's done all over the world.
I see. And this trip was at government cost for the NRSA, or?
Yes. So the government of Ghana sponsored the two institutions together with the transport ministry to go and learn from the Rwanda experience.
So how much did this trip cost us as taxpayers?
What I know is that we were given business class tickets and economy tickets in line with the government's directive that
Very well.
State officials should not travel in first class.
Very well. Let's get onto the matter itself about the complexity of, putting security gadgets on these motorbikes. So if an Okada rider brings their vehicle to be licensed, they would have to buy all these things to attach to their vehicles before the license is given? For
now, we intend to provide most of these services either free of charge or subsidized. So, for instance, a normal license would cost you 1,000 cedis. We intend to reduce that to the barest for them. So, from the scratch, we'll ensure that we'll subsidize some of these things for them.
And that licensing, what I'm trying to clarify is that licensing will come with the gadgets that they will need, like the the cameras you spoke about. Or did I get that wrong?
We have a private institution or an IT institution that will deal with that component of fixing the gadgets on the motorbikes and also ensuring that the connectivity is brought onto a large screen. All those things will be done by an individual who is ready to assist government in doing that.
Okay. I get that now. And so one of the promises that has also been made alongside the legalization of the Okada business is provision of e-bikes. Talk to us about where we are with that.
Exactly. So just like in Rwanda, we are unable to provide e-bikes to everybody. So for now, the combustion engine that they are using will be what they will use in registering and engaging in their commercial activities. But we'll have to draw a line that subsequently, if people are coming to join the Okada business, they must come with e-motorbikes. That's how we're going to do it. And gradually, we'll phase
out the combustion ones.
Yeah.
How are we going to run this legalized commercial Okada business alongside the booming business of delivery that supports, the online market?
So there's discussions as to whether we would have to identify them in categories. Those who pick passengers, those who deliver food, those who deliver parcels have already been catered for by the post office, the Ghana Post. They are under the Ghana Post. Those who deliver parcels, they are already under the Ghana Post. So there are talks within us to register them in accordance with the services they provide. So, like you are right, those who deliver food will be registered and identified by maybe the uniform they wear, and those who pick passengers will also be registered and identified by the uniform they wear. These are the fine details that we'll finally deal with. But it is not only Okada, there's also Pragya, they call it Mahama Kandu, the YOLO.
Oh, so we are not looking at just the
no.
two-wheelers. We are looking at the three-wheelers as well. They will also fall under the Okada transportation businesses.
Exactly. So in some parts of the country, say up north, Okada is not prominent. What is prominent is the YOLO, the tricycles. So they are also part of it. So when we were embarking on the trip, there was the president of the Okada Association and the president of the Pragya Association. They were part of the trip. Yes.
Fantastic. Right. So now we need the law to come into effect first. So what are the timelines associated with this move that the government wants to make?
From the day we left Rwanda, amongst us, we said that we're going to give ourselves 3 months within which we can put, because the law would have to go to Parliament. We don't have control over Parliament. But if the law goes to Parliament, once it stays in Parliament for a certain number of days, it passes because it's an ally. Then, as we speak, from my department, I have put in place a technical committee that is dealing with the Okada executives. So the registration processes, how they will register, how they will put themselves in groups and unions, that is currently ongoing. Currently ongoing too is the committee I just spoke about that is reviewing the law. So things are happening, but they are happening in the quiet.
Indeed. Yeah. And we look forward to, 3 months' time to have this conversation again, looking at the details of the amended road traffic regulation law. But will this law be applied to the same everywhere, considering in places like Accra, where there is congestion already? When I cast my mind back, we had a lot of motorbike situation in this country prior to the time when the original law was amended to criminalize commercialization. So how will the new law deal with issue of congestion that can interfere with other motorists?
So there were people who were saying that this cannot be done unless there's a dedicated route for motorbikes. When I went to Rwanda, it wasn't the case. The motorbikes were using the same routes as vehicles. So, first and foremost, after the legalization, no Okada will be allowed to jump traffic. That will now be a complete no. 2, if the law is put in place, there will be driver education. There will be road safety education, which will require motorists to respect other road users, and as well as drivers in private cars, also respect the Okada user. The congestion comes when there is disrespect, there is driver indiscipline in respect of the Okada user. In this country, in Accra, for instance, most drivers do not respect the Okada drivers, partly because it is illegal. But if it becomes legal, we would have to give education to drivers who otherwise would have thought that the Okada is illegal, and for that matter, they will not give them the necessary respect of or right of way. So the congestion,
yes, the congestion issue.
Congestion is one of the reasons why we need to regularize them, because if we regularize them, then they will obey traffic rules and regulations. They are part of the reasons why the congestion takes place, because they disregard the regulations, the road regulations. But when we legalize them, it's going to come with some responsibility. And I've already met some of them and told them that the legalization is going to come with some responsibilities imposed on them.
Respect is important.
Yeah, exactly. So for them to continue to be in business, they must also respect the road regulations. And so it will take some doing in terms of a concerted effort to focus on regulations, concerted effort to focus on education, concerted effort to focus on enforcement, concerted effort to focus on collaboration, and concerted effort to focus on conduct on the road. So we'll do this together with the MTTD, and then I am sure.
I see.
In Rwanda too, we noticed that there were each 100 or some kilometers you drive on the road, there are road cameras. And I'm happy to inform you that we are also, and you've seen the cameras on our roads, they are going to multiply them more, but we have a program called Traffic Tech. That's the program that would deal with spot fines. And you know, they've already test run the process. They've test run the, people have received some test messages saying that you've jumped traffic lights. If this law passes, it will bring into force the Traffic Tech.
Really, the amendment?
The amendment,
if
yes.
If it passes,
it's part of it.
We'll start receiving instant,
yes.
fines.
No policeman will stop you again.
Amazing.
So the Traffic Tech, which requires that there are speed cameras on the road, will all come into being, and that can also help in dealing with the congestions that you are talking about.
I see. I can't wait to see the amendment of the law in its entirety or completeness. But let's look at your office and, you know, road safety generally, you know, away from Okada. We've seen the statistics that, you know, we are seeing a reduction, at least from 2023, 2024, we've seen a reduction in the number of crashes, but our fatalities have continued to go up. Translation of that could be that now the accidents are more serious and more people are dying in the accidents. More people are getting injured in the accidents. What plans do you have as the new DG for the NRSA to ensure that our roads are safe?
Ever since I took over, it's getting to the 2 months now. I haven't relented in my effort to ensure that our roads are safe. The first action I took was to visit some of the roads in Accra, particularly focusing on pedestrian walkways, focusing on footbridges. The reason is that when I took over office, I noticed that these statistics came to me, and there were a lot of knockdowns, pedestrian knockdowns. So I did that. So I brought some lights into that area, and I had the Highways Authority, you know, assuring me that these footbridges, particularly the N1, will be completed in good time. Then I summoned 2M Express. If you know, there's a company, an operator, transport operator, that applies Accra Kumasi. I heard about the overspeeding and the car crashes that they involve in. I summoned them to my office, and we had some discussions. We gave them some guidelines that they should implement that. And as we speak now, there are no complaints coming from the public on them. 2 days ago, I had a video of a woman complaining about the erection of advertising boards on the underbridge, which impedes the visibility of motorists. I went there, inspected the place. Immediately, I called the advertising company, and as we speak today, he's removed them all.
I see.
Yes.
Which underbridge are you referring to?
Underbridge East Legon.
I see.
When you are coming to take the bend to either Palace or you are going to airport. That island, they will call it a median. They were erected and they were higher above the normal human being's height.
You've had them removed?
Yes, so they have been removed. Now, most people don't know our work. They think that we are supposed to do the work on the road. No, we are a regulator. So, for instance, if there are no road markings on highways, it's the responsibility of Ghana Highways Authority. If there are no road markings on streets in our city or regional capitals, it's the urban roads that is responsible. If there are no road markings in our district capitals, it's the responsibility of feeder roads. Ours is to say that you are not doing your work. So we are like a PURC that regulates the utility sector. We are also the regulator of the road sector. And so I've engaged highways to ensure that they do the right things. There is a bridge at on the way to Kumasi, Brimso Bridge. The culverts at the side of the road are all gone. So when drivers get onto that road, it becomes dangerous because they can easily turn into the river. And when we went there last week, I visited the place again last week. I embarked on a trip to Eastern Region. So I visited the place and I saw a car which had an accident and was lying there. I informed the Eastern Regional Minister, but I told her that that is the responsibility of the highways in Accra. I had already informed them. So if by next week they are not doing what is expected to provide culverts to support vehicles, I'm going to issue them with a compliance notice. The law allows me to do that. Then I will go further to sue them in court. The law allows. As a lawyer, I'm the first person who is coming outside the Road Safety Authority. All others came through and became directors. I am the only one who is coming from outside. For me, I'm not an engineer, I'm a lawyer. My only tool is to use the law to effect change. And that's what I'm doing now.
And you think that gives you a good perspective, doesn't it?
It is helping me.
I see.
And you just saw the results at the underbridge.
Yes. I want us to take up a few things that you've spoken about. The pedestrian walkways. We know that some of our pedestrian walkways have been taken over by hawkers and vendors. How are we going to combine the need for people to make ends meet and the need for pedestrians to have a free walkway? What are the plans?
The plans is to engage the district assemblies. That is their responsibility to ensure that they clear the pavement. When I was in the Eastern region, I informed the regional minister and told her that she should help in decongestion. If you go to Koforidua, similar things happen by the roadside. It's all over the big cities. So we are going to engage the district assemblies to ensure that the pedestrian walkways are left free and people can do their buying and selling beyond the pedestrian walkway. There's also one danger which I have not mentioned, which is the parking of articulated trucks on the major highways. Some of them become stationary and people drive into them. When I was in the Eastern region, I told the regional minister to inform. One of that scenario is Apedua Junction. And I informed the Eastern regional minister to inform the district assembly of that. We can provide parking places in the towns for them. And we can even cordon it off with wires so that they can be in there. That can even provide market for people who want to be selling food for the drivers. But to be by the shoulders of the road, I am waging a war against that. And very soon, you will see that will stop.
Is it only in the eastern region or
No, along our highways.
Along all our highways.
You find them.
But on the subject of the pedestrians on our walkways, it's a very difficult matter. NDC1 tried it. MPP also tried it in this very early terms. But the vendors always come back to the walkways. What will be different this time?
It is just collaboration with the district assemblies. I am not interested in sending them completely away from the streets.
Right.
I want my pedestrian walkway to be free. So if you can put your wares outside the pedestrian walkway and still be sitting close, I have no problem. But I want my pedestrian walkway to be free so that pedestrians will not be walking and competing with motorists on the street. If that is done, I am glad. The rest can be done by the district assembly if they want to evict them completely. But my pedestrian walkway should be left free for pedestrians to walk.
I see. But the issues that you have outlined to do with road crashes or behind the fatalities we continue to see on our roads have a lot to do with compliance. So while you have been proactive, you've invited some people to your office, you've taken certain actions to clear up the road for visibility's sake, compliance will still be a problem for you. How are you ensuring that the likes of those who travel on our highways, the articulated tracks, the long journey buses, our truskies in our cities are compliant? What are we going to do?
It's about the desire to work. All these things I'm talking about were already in the laws before I got there. But if you don't have somebody who will be interested and damning the consequences to apply the laws, you will not get results. I have come, in less than 2 months, I have done some things that were not done over the years. I have invited the transport operators, GPRTU. I've invited VIP, Adakabre and Co. I've invited Metro Mass, all of them to my office, just to tell them that there's a new sheriff in town and I am not going to do things as usual. I even told my staff that the things they have been doing over and over and not getting results, I am coming with a new approach and they must support and back me in doing that. Compliance would only come if you crack the whip. So why did I crack the whip on the advertising company? Because I want other advertising companies to know that you cannot continue doing things the way they are. So you can be rest assured that cracking the whip is not. Sometimes, you know me, I thrive on controversy. You know, where there's controversy is where I want. So if I crack the whip on some of these operators, they will begin to fall in line. So I told you that we have the power to issue you with compliance notice. I've asked my technical officer in charge of that to issue one to somebody, and I'm not going to one of the institutions. I'm not going to mention it now. And for a long time, we have never done that.
I see.
And so it is about applying the law, and when you apply the law and you know you are right, there's nothing to fear.
Very well. So speaking of applying the law, the NRSA is mandated also to conduct investigations into road transport systems, and which means that you can conduct even investigation into some of these road companies that experience accidents on our roads too many times. Does the NRSA as an office have the capacity to do some of these investigations?
Yes, so that is what, before I came, they did well. Because I remember a oil tanker got an accident, and our people did some investigations on it and provided oil with the resource.
But not the public?
Well, what I know at the time was that they provided oil with the resource. There was also an investigation on this 2M Express before I came. They did that and they shared the resource with the company. And it is good, if it is that we should begin to share it with the public, I'm all out for it. And we have the capacity, we've been doing it, and we'll continue doing it. But I think that I'm hearing from you that we need to share those resources
it is important. It is important,
with the public.
Isn't it?
I'll take note and we'll do that. So we have been doing that and we'll continue to do that. And this time, the public will be put on notice.
I see. We'll come back to some of the problems we face on our roads. But while we are sticking with your activities of your office, let's do that and then conclude on that. We'll come back to the road safety issues. How is funding for your office? How's that going?
Funding is not too good. Funding is not too good. And funding is not too good. This is the third time I'm saying it. We do not have IGF. We don't have internally generated funds. We rely on the road fund. We also relied on some monies that will come from National Insurance Commission, and then some monies that will come from DVLA. So when those monies don't come...
But they are statutory. Why do they not come?
Yeah, they are statutory because the law says that you should provide them with those monies.
Yes.
Well, I'm yet to engage the road fund, and I intend to do that this week. But you will be told that unless something comes in, they cannot give you. And they also say that the capping of those funds under the previous administration also affected how much could be sent to us. I'm happy and glad to note that the Minister of Finance, during his budget, announced that capping will be taken off, which means that the 2.5%, I think so, which is supposed to come from the road fund,
yeah,
will now come. And that will make us much better, or would appreciate. But we need to have our own IGF. And when that happens, you can be assured that, because even...
But why don't you have IGF? And again, I know you're new to the office, but why doesn't the authority have an IGF when it has the ability to impose fines and the likes? It has never been done in the past.
We have never had IGF. We've never... In fact, government only pays for our salaries. The rest is from the road fund, and then these institutions I've talked about. What will make us comfortable is when we start generating. And having come into office, I have seen some low-hanging fruits, and I'm beginning to trigger those ones. And if those ones begin to come, this whole low-hanging fruits, I've spoken to the transport operators, and when those ones start coming, I think will be, because our work demands resources. Our vehicles, we are the ones who would inspect vehicles and say that this vehicle is not roadworthy. You cannot go onto the road. Your tires are worn out, but our vehicles are not good. I have spoken to the minister, and the minister has assured us that when this budget is approved, they will get us some vehicles. So good things are beginning to happen at road safety. Yeah.
I see. So some money will start trickling in, and we look forward to having a conversation again on how the office is changing. So while you don't have money, I mean, again,
we don't have
hang on.
enough. Not that we don't have money. We don't have enough. And it's not only us, every institution.
I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. So as you inherited the office, are you telling us that the NRSA didn't have any money in its account yet?
Oh, yes. When I inherited the office, I I wouldn't want to disclose what was there, but it was...
Why not? It's for public consumption, isn't it?
It was debilitating.
What? Define debilitating.
No, it wasn't pleasant knowing what was in the coffers. But nonetheless, that didn't stop us from embarking on the kind of road trips I embarked on. It didn't stop us. We had to call on suppliers who normally would give us something on credit, and then when our monies come, we pay off. You get the point. So I am saying that it is not too bad. As Director General, it is my responsibility to ensure that I rake in resources. And I have seen some low-hanging fruits.
And you
we
go
are
after
dealing
them.
with that. So we are dealing with that.
Okay, I'll let that go. But I do want us to touch a bit more on the personnel also, who go to the ground to effect road safety regulations. As road safety, you have your own road safety inspectors. The MTTD also has its people. Sometimes they themselves become a stumbling block in applying road safety regulations. How are you hoping to work with the other agencies? How are you hoping to put your own officers on the straight and narrow path? What are your plans to ensure that issues of bribery, corruption are reduced on our roads?
Before I get there, we have personnel shortage. There's high level of attrition because
at road safety?
At road safety, yeah. And because salaries are not too good, we had a legal officer who, and we are supposed to have a legal officer as we speak. We don't have one. She has left before I got there. Other officers have also left because the salaries are not good. But nonetheless, I have spoken to them and I've told them that the things that I am doing to bring about IGF would be good to assist in giving them some upgrade in their salaries. So apart from that, we do not have enough inspectors.
What's your staff strength for inspectors at the moment?
When I got into the office, I asked for the available vacancies, and there were like 90-something vacancies that we need to fill all over the country. You know, we have offices in the regions. 90-something to 100, you know.
To be filled?
To be filled because of staff.
And that's for just road safety inspectors?
No, that's for the entire... Yes,
okay.
Yes. And because also our salaries are not too good, we can't attract the right caliber of road inspectors. A road inspector must have a background in engineering. So from the polytechnics, we will need such people to come in. From the universities, we need such people to come in. Our road inspectors are normally national service people who don't have background in those areas, but we'll give them in-service training anyway. So to attract the much needed caliber of personnel, we would need some upgrade in our salary. And when that is done, we'll be able to attract. But nonetheless, we are still doing the work. This national service, when they come, we'll give them in-service training.
I see.
And they go out to do their work.
So hopefully you'll be able to fill that vacancy.
Yes.
Depending on how big your money comes in.
Particularly if we are given financial clearance.
Financial clearance.
Yes.
But then do you have a board yet?
The board is being put in place. Our board is institutional based.
Yes.
So you have somebody must come from the police, somebody must come from Attorney General, somebody must come from DVLA, standard boards, National Insurance Commission. So
and the president hasn't made the appointments yet, has he?
No, the president is not supposed to make those appointments. It is for us to ask those institutions to bring their representatives.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
So in our institution, the president doesn't appoint the individuals.
Not even the board chair? I think the board chair is
the board
appointed,
chair
yes.
maybe.
Yes.
So we have put together the names, and they are with the Transport Ministry. They will be submitted to the Flagstaff House, and the announcement will be made.
Will be made soon. Fantastic. So just a few things, and then we can call it a day. Starting off with, people are asking, so the things you're doing in the other areas, when will you, spread it across the country? So which brings me to the question of what the next 12 months looks like for the National Road Safety Authority.
So, in between what I'm doing, I also embark on regional visitations. So, I was in the Eastern region. Next week, or this week rather, I'm going to be in the Volta region. And then next will be the Oti region. Hopefully, immediately after Easter. Now, when I go to the regions, I meet not only my staff, but I meet our, what do they call them, stakeholders. I meet the urban roads in the region, I meet the highways in the region, I meet the police in the region. While there, I give them the go-ahead to do similar things in their region as I am in Accra doing in the national level. So I empower them to begin to do similar things in their regions. So those in the regions who are asking the questions, very soon you will see actions. You will see some action in your regions.
In their regions as
various
well.
regions, yes.
So when are you writing compliance for street lights? Compliance notes for street lights?
Yes. Accra is dark in the night, particularly when you fly in outside from Accra. The issue is that street lighting is the responsibility of MMDCs. They are the responsibility of the Metropolitan Municipal Assemblies. The Energy Commission gives the district assemblies money to fix traffic lights. Now, it is our responsibility, if these things are not happening, to hold the district assemblies accountable. I am going to write to the regional minister to get all the 20-something districts in the capital together for me to address them on this matter. But because I went out to do some road visitation, I have received some reports that, because in that road visit, I also complain about street lights. And I'm told that in some areas, they have begun, fixing the lights. But to deal with the lights specifically would require me to have an interface with the district assemblies to ensure that they do what is needed. If money is not coming from the Energy Commission, they should let me know. If it is that the money's come, but they divert it into something else, I need to know. Else, like you are saying, I would. So don't be surprised. In the coming days, you will see a rate called National Road Safety versus a state institution, which is supposed to do its work. And I'm not shying away from that. So I can assure you that things are not going to be the same.
Right.
If I give out a compliance notice and give you, say, a month to rectify the anomalies and you don't, I would instruct my office to issue a writ against you and we'll go to court. Yeah.
Just two things I want us to squeeze into the rest of the time that we have before we go. On the issue of fines, do you find that our fines are punitive enough?
Punishment too is not to destroy. Punishment is meant to correct. And so I have told the people I have dealt with, the transport operators, that my focus is not to destroy their businesses. My focus is to ensure that our roads are safe. So I would not want a situation where fines will be used as as a way to destroy somebody's
but
business.
won't it deter? It will deter.
Yes, but the fine that you are talking about to be punitive should not be a fine that would bring your businesses to an end. So I sparingly would be cautious, or I'll be cautious if it comes to fines, just for it to wake you up and not for you to punish in such a way that your businesses would go. So some of the fines were done years back. Your inflation would have eaten into them. And so they may not be punitive, but I think that for now, they are okay, and I do not intend to advocate for them to be, heightened.
Very well.
Yes.
But by the law, you're supposed to collaborate with the education ministry to create a curricula for pre-tertiary level schools.
Exactly.
Is that happening today?
Before I came, my research director informed me that they have been able to ensure that the GS included some road safety education at basic school level. But looking at the kinds of things that are in the basic school, I think that we need to have a more detailed, curricula. I'm thinking, and I'll soon engage the GS for them to have a subject called road safety. Because when you catch them young, then you reduce the spate of accidents. So I told my people in the office that what we need to do is to have a subject. It can either be examinable or not examinable, but there must be a subject called road safety. Because our roads are becoming like death traps, and we can't continue that way. So the best to do is to have the young ones, so that when they grow, they will not be behaving like the way the grown-ups are behaving when they are behind the steering wheel. So yes, there's some little education or subjects dealing with road safety, but I think that there must be a comprehensive, subject called road safety in our basic schools.
We wish you all the very best, and congratulations on your new role.
Thank you, and we will do this for Mother Ghana. It is my prayer that before I leave road safety, I will have improved upon the situation and leave a mark, so that whoever is coming cannot do below that.
Very well. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Abraham Amaliba is Director General for the National Road Safety Authority. This is Hot Issues. I'm Kemini, and I'll see you same time next week. Bye-bye.